There are several methods used in regulatory impact assessment. There is no one-size-fits-all when it comes to the RIA methodology. Several RIA methods commonly used in OECD countries include formal cost-benefit analysis, cost-effectiveness analysis, socio-economic impact analysis, risk analysis, consequence analysis, compliance cost analysis, and business impact tests. In this module, we'll look at 3 tools provided in the RIA Manual which can strengthen your RIA by using empirical data. These tools include benefit cost analysis, standard cost model, and multi-criteria decision analysis. We'll also take a look at the key features of each one in order for us to differentiate them from one another and better understand when is it best to use a particular methodology. Let's first take a look at cost-benefit analysis, or BCA. As a methodology, benefit cost analysis represents the best practice for RIA because it provides the policymaker with a suitable basis for making decisions. In a proper BCA, benefits and costs are quantified in monetary terms and compared over a period of time, providing an easily understandable metric for making decisions. Simply put, we compare different policy options against each other to see whether their benefits outweigh their costs at a certain amount of time and to see which option can be considered the better one over others. In BCA, we list or enumerate costs and benefits that will be incurred by our stakeholders and other possible sectors that may be affected by government intervention. Remember to also consider possible impacts on women and other marginalized groups. Costs to businesses and consumers may include cost of familiarizing with regulations and planning how to comply, such as paying for trainings or consultancy services, license fees or other charges imposed by the regulation, or cost of lost sales due to restricted access to markets. You should also take into consideration the cost to be incurred by your agency in implementing your chosen policy, such as the need to hire additional staff to enforce a regulation, coming up with response mechanisms for non-compliance, and conducting information campaigns and trainings. Listing down benefits, on the other hand, can be a bit more challenging as compared to listing down costs, since it involves a lot more foresight. But examples of benefits could include improved safety of goods and services, streamlined regulatory processes and requirements, or provision of better information to consumers. The benefit cost analysis is a resource-intensive evaluation method because of the data and other information that are required to do an estimation. It may not be possible to quantify or monetize everything when conducting a full BCA. Nevertheless, the probable impacts of a proposed regulation understood in qualitative terms should be taken into consideration in reviewing regulatory proposals. Another method used in RIA is the standard cost model, or the SCM, which is also applied in many OECD countries. As compared to BCA, SCM only focuses on the administrative activities that must be undertaken in order to comply with the regulations and does not focus on the policy objectives of each regulation. By using SCM, agencies will benefit from a high degree of detail in measurement of administrative costs, in particular, going down to the individual level of activities. SCM can be a useful instrument to help agencies identify unnecessary and burdensome procedures, which can be subject to simplification and red tape reduction, thus contributing to an ease of doing business. The third method in RIA is the multi-criteria decision analysis, or the MCDA. As compared to BCA and SCM, MCDA focuses more on the qualitative aspects of listing down costs and benefits. Simply put, MCDA is a tool that can help us analyze areas that are difficult to quantify or put into monetary terms. MCDA puts a premium on the necessity for robust consultation with stakeholders, since the agency needs to determine a set of criteria that will be assigned to certain weights and scores to help determine which option best meets your policy objectives. You can productively come up with criteria by collaborating with stakeholders to identify which areas or aspects are more important to them. It is important to note that MCDA must not be seen as an alternative to more robust quantitative methods in RIA, but should be viewed as a complementary tool that can help provide better information to decision makers by incorporating both qualitative and quantitative levels of analysis. Let us review the 3 analytical tools that we just discussed. Benefit Cost Analysis, or BCA, represents the best practice in RIA since it comprehensively takes into account costs and benefits for both stakeholders and your agency. Standard Cost Model, or SCM, looks at detailed steps and activities and is best used for administrative simplification and red tape reduction. Multi-Criteria Decision Analysis, or MCDA, uses qualitative analysis to help us better understand costs and benefits that may not be easy to put into monetary terms. RIA highlights the importance of an evidence-based analysis of regulations, and the tools presented in the RIA Manual can help your agency better process and understand the information that you will be collecting in the conduct of RIA. By applying these methods and approaches into our policy-making processes, we are aligning ourselves to international best practices, which will contribute to an improved regulatory environment. In the next module, we'll take a look at the analytical lenses, which can complement your RIA by applying context-specific analysis.